Welcome to the world famous EJ Churchill shooting ground, where today we're going to be checking out their gun room to see what gems we can find, once again in conjunction with Tweedle, who are doing another 10 grand giveaway here. Let's go look at some beautiful guns. Welcome to the EJ Churchill Gunroom. It's not that big, to be honest, but it is absolutely crammed with great guns. It's a higher end shop, so it's full of higher end stuff. There's no rust rack, which may upset you, but may not. Again, to offer a decent warranty on a gun, you do need to have a cut off somewhere, I guess. Also, to be fair, anything comes off at a certain level, these guys actually take into their shooting school because they're putting thousands and thousands of rounds through these guns a year. They do need a steady supply of guns to wear out. So if you come at the right time, you can pick up some bargains. If you don't, they'll use them. First thing when you walk in is paparazzi. This is the paparazzi that sticks out the most, and because I am me, I love a sale. This was £8 grand, it's now down to 7, 15-inch stock, £8.3, 30.5-inch MX-12 SC3. Tapered rib with a mid-bead sight and teak chokes. It's hard to describe every paparazzi because they're all ever so slightly different, but it just feels like a great all-rounder, very steady gun. That low profile is really nice. You've got to admire most parazzis. They're just nice things, and the hand belt, hand engraved aspect does go a long way. New, it's a lot of money. For 7 grand, that's a nice gun. And if parazzi's always been a dream gun, it's a good way to scratch that itch, although they have got, I don't know, 20 others. Longthorn, I believe that is a pair of Hesketh Deluxe side locks. I mean, these are well outside the 10 grand bracket that is being given away by Tweedle, but you could put a deposit on them for 10 grand. Always love these raised worms, these bolsters on the side of guns. It's just a nice treat. But let's look at a gun that is actually inside of the 10 grand bracket. This is a custom engraved F3 and by far the best looking blazer in the house. Let's go shoot it. Before we shoot this lovely Blazer F3, let's talk about the 10 grand giveaway. Currently available on Tweedle.com is a £10,000 voucher for EJ Churchill. To enter, go to the link in the description. It's pretty self-explanatory from there. It's £19.99 per ticket and there's 950 available. The last competition sold out pretty rapidly because who doesn't want 10 grand to spend on shooting equipment and fun? It's one of those ones, who doesn't want to win it? I don't need a gun, I'd spend it on fun, but I'd also spend it on guns. 10 grand, you can have what you want. All right, let's shoot this thing. The Blazer F3 is an interesting one. I've got a bit of experience with them and they do shoot unlike anything else, and they're made unlike anything else. The money here is spent in engineering and precision engineering rather than some of the arty gun making you see with other makers. This one's enhanced because it's got Manzi engraving on it. It's a really beautiful looking thing and slightly different to any other Blazer I've had my hands on. Also, upgrade wood. Fairly factory spec sporting gun with a 30-inch barrel. Great all-rounder. You couldn't go too far wrong if you wanted something special. It's not a bad spend of 9 grand if you want something a little different, a little special, and a little value, seeing as this is a £16,000 gun brand new, and it hasn't seen a lot of use. All right, time to put it away, get back in the gun room. I say that was the nicest looking Blazer. This will divide opinions and I am yet undecided on this. Wood, huge contrast there, but the colour is almost more grey than it would be that honey and black. I mean, I definitely don't hate it. Again, another bonsai engraved F16 this time. Before we have a look around there, we need to step back. I almost forgot about these. These caught my eye as soon as we came in the room because of the price tag. This is a Benelli 828U silver, a super lightweight over and under built on a very different design. For those of you who want to know more, we've got a few videos on the channel sort of talking about these in their early stages of development. The price tag is 6 grand second hand. And that's because this is a pair of 828U silvers, properly numbered in gold. That is one of the weirdest pairs of guns I've ever seen. We've seen some weird pairs. What would possess someone to have a lightweight over and under pair of guns, given that pairs of guns are generally for high volume shooting, is beyond me, but it's definitely unique. What I didn't think about too much last time was using the 10 grand to make a less affordable gun more affordable. I am a huge fan of that SL3 20 gauge. I shot it on a couple of days last year. That's £23,000. Take 10 grand off that and that's now £13,000, which is still more money than I have, but it makes it an awful lot closer and doesn't feel quite so bad, I guess. There aren't too many second-hand Berettas here. As I said, anything in the lower end gets taken into their school, the 680s, 682s, because they're just that bomb-proof. You will never go wrong with something like that. except they do have this EELL Classic 20 bore behind me that I'm about to go and take to shoot with Rupert. Let's go. You're a fan of a 20 gauge.
Love a 20.
There's nothing. I am a big sub gauge convert, to be fair. There's something just kind of cute about them.
It's proving the point that you can do it and you don't have to have a 12.
And we've brought a couple out.
We have, yep. You've got the EELL, I've got the Hercules.
A classic you've just taken in with a long stock.
Which is why we thought of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
£4.5 by the time it's all tied up.
It is, yep.
That's a good value gun. It's one of the most popular guns out there in the field. You can see why. Reliable 680 action, but looks pretty naughty.
I've got the Churchill Rosini made Hercules 20 gauge. It is a ladies gun. It is a bit short for me.
You're just making excuses.
So I'm definitely getting those in right now.
No one expects anything of you.
Because actually I'm expecting myself to do really badly with this, but hey, let's have a go.
I reviewed the 12 gauge, what, a couple of years ago?
You did,
years ago? Oh, I love that. It's 13,000, so it's over budget. You'd have to put a bit of your own money to it, but you get a full custom service for that.
Yep.
It's pretty nice. And honestly, who doesn't have a boss forend? I think that's such a good looking thing. So, should we shoot him?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
So, are we thinking competition here, or?
What are we going to say, a tenner on it?
I was thinking just honour.
One thing I do know is that any gunroom manager worth their salt can pick up most any shotgun and work some magic.
They do say if you spend enough on a gun, it will fix anything, and seeing as that's nearly 3 times the price of this little bad boy.
Right, see, pull.
And Rupert was no different, hitting all but the last bird.
Oh, there's a chance! I smell a chance!
With honour on the line, I stepped up and did the exact same thing.
Have some of that.
4 kills, 1 loss.
Oh, well,
Dead.
so we kind of, I'd say, equal honour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that with you.
The conversation on the way back to the shop revolved on how we would spend a 10k win from Tweedle. And I think this is why it's such a good prize. Everybody wants something different, right? I mean, how would you spend it?
So we actually shot that a little bit more than we filmed. That 20 bore was nice. A few years ago we reviewed this Hercules 12 gauge and I really liked it. I'm a big fan. I love that boss style forend, and for 11,500 starting price, well, if you won the 10 grand, that's £1,500. That's basically free. The thing about EJ Churchill is they do have a lot of this kind of stuff, really high-end guns, or, you know, expensive guns, but that is because this is a high-end store. They do have a few weirdy things, and generally for me in a gun shop, I like the weirdy stuff. They have a pair of Rizzini SE1 Custom Shop guns. Rizzini Custom Shop make all kinds of weird and wonderful things that we don't really see, and when we went out to that factory, it was cool to see they do like side levers, small bores, weird custom engraving, all pretty much anything. And this is a great example of that. It's built on an action that kind of resembles the 440 with a fully detachable trigger. And I love the Rizzini detachable trigger system. It's so slick and easy to get out. And the quality of the workmanship on this gun is, I mean, it's outstanding, right? Those guys know how to build a gun when they're given the budget to build a great gun. 32.5 inch, 15 inch stock, £8.5. Pair of multi-chokes in the end there. This is cool, obscure gun making. It is 12,500 for the pair of guns, which is a fair amount of money. That's a great pair of guns, really cool, interesting find. This is the whole thing with any gun shop, is you never know what you're gonna find, what some weird stuff people have brought in, and you just don't know until you walk in. And you can spend the time on the internet, but you just skimmed over these, you wouldn't have found them. I love the profile on that forend as well, that semi-square front. Just interesting gun making. You learn something new every time you come into a gun store, which is why you should go into them all the time. There's justification for you. I know from the Barbary giveaway there's a lot of people buying this who either just started, have got their first gun and are looking to fill their cabinet with stuff, and so I've kind of picked these two out based on there'd be worse ways to fill a cabinet. 2 second-hand guns you got at the moment. Grade 5 Mark 38 that you've had London finished.
Absolutely perfect.
When I think Maruku, I think value for money. I mean, I ran one of these for years, alongside a few others. You can kill them. People are like, you can't kill them. I managed to kill mine a few times. But they're a joy to kill. And for a gun you can't kill.
I used to have one of these in 20 gauge. What a gun.
What a gun.
Absolute workhorse. Yes, it's black, it's plastic, does what it says on the tin, but it's an auto. It's great.
The days of hating on black plastic guns are gone.
Completely.
Man.
Fun, no recoil.
Biggest problem, powered system sucks. They don't make them for giants. You'll be fine. I can manage.
Harsh.
I was thinking if I got that 10 grand, I don't need any more guns. But I would definitely think about having another fun auto in the cabinet, and you don't go far wrong with that.
No.
And 9 grand's worth of shells and shooting. Shot. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Buying one
Yeah.
of these really is not a bad idea. However, it's tough. How would you spend 10 grand?
Clays, cartridges, lessons. I've got the gun I want. I'd probably buy a 410 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just because we got the championships coming this year.
One of those Bretta Sporters with
One
the
of
palm
those
swell
Bretta
that works,
Sporters, the
30
palm
inch,
swell, absolutely.
2 grand.
Yeah,
8
why
grand's
not?
worth of glaze cartridges and lessons would go a long way.
That's it.
You'd have a lot of fun. And you
A
might
lot
actually
of
be
fun.
good at the end of that.
Might.
Yeah.
Might.
Since my last visit, you guys have launched a rifle.
We have.
I'm kind of excited to look at one of these as a first opportunity to get it on camera.
Yep, we have a massive tendency in the London gun trade. Would continue making an old Mauser 98 classic safari rifle. What I really wanted to create was a rifle that you can sit on a bench with, punch holes, you can take up a high seat, you can go hill stalking, you can go woodland stalking, you can literally hunt as you would with everything. So this really for me was a blend of modern manufacturing techniques, modern materials. So we've got carbon fibre wrapped barrel, so still has a steel core, titanium action, a full carbon fibre stock, fantastic trigger, amazing build quality all the way through. Not too big, not too cumbersome, but you've got the confidence of build quality, accuracy, reliability, all those things that I want as a shooter. So from my side of things, I wanted something that looked a lot un-Churchill. You know, it's not the same as our shotguns, not tons of engraving, not fantastic woodwork. This is a working rifle that you can own for the next 20, 30, 40 years.
I like it. I like progress. I think a lot of the English gun trade has just sat in the same place we've been for 120 years, and that's great, and it's such a wonderful piece of history.
And with the best one in the world, we've not reinvented the wheel here at all.
No,
the custom gun industry around the world has been doing for the last 20, 30 years. You know, carbon fibre barrels I think we've seen for the last 10 to 15 years starting on the market. All we're really doing is putting our guarantee on it.
To finish, let's get a side-by-side down. This one, more than any other, this is an Arithemalaga Sidelock 20 gauge, which I think could be one of my favourite guns in this building. Probably because it's the most subtle and undervalued. I don't know. Let's have a look. I mean, it's quite an unassuming little Sidelock 20 bore, this. But it did jump out the rack for just having good, clean lines. And of all the Spanish gun makers, Arrizabalaga actually is probably one of the most consistent over time in always making good quality guns. Nowadays, their guns are off the chain, but back then, by comparison to some of the less well-finished things coming out of the valley, this is nice. The regulation is lovely, and when you start taking it apart, you can see the quality of finish throughout is just solid. This one has just come in for sale, so it actually needs a little bit of titivating to get it where it needs to be. But looking at it, it's interesting when it comes to Spanish guns when you actually look at them properly. Occasionally you'll just see little hallmarks of less quality, little rivels on the outside, not rivels, but just slight waves, and that's just how they were made back then. The barrels on these Arithemalagas are genuinely well struck up. Sorry, I'm getting all geeky about a gun that literally no one should care about, because inherently it's just another Spanish Sidelock 20 gauge, but I see this and I see, that's a good honest gun that can kind of hide, and I do have a lot of loud, stupid guns in my life, but having a slightly less loud, classier looking thing is never a bad thing. And I don't, needs a little love, but hey, wouldn't take a lot to get it where it needs to go. I like that, for literally no reason, but sometimes guns do just speak to you. It's kind of unassuming and kind of unexciting. but occasionally you don't need to justify why you like something. Although I appreciate that is kind of entirely what this channel is about. I've had a couple of months since the Barbary Gunroom Tour to really think about what I'd spend 10 grand on, and I really can't nail it down. Every place you go, you see something new, something different, and get inspired in a different way. Do you buy a sim day for you and your friends? Do you use it for 90 lessons to become a next world champion? Do you just buy a walked up grouse day for you and your friends to go and have some amazing memories? Honestly, I don't know. The grouse day does appeal. But hey, I best buy a ticket if I want that, and you could too. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for Tweedle for supporting this video and making it possible to come and look around some of the coolest gun shops in Britain. And hey, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.